So I don't know how many times it's happened, but a lot. It could be that it's happened with every artist that I truly love. It always seems to happen like this. I come across them and right away I don't know what to do with them. Like I don't understand them. They seem, I don't know, I can't wrap my head around what they're doing. They seem foreign to me. Other people I know, students I've had, friends, even my wife, they just walk away, right? I mean, that's not for me, I don't care for it, and that's that. And maybe that's really the thing that I should do. I mean, that's usually how I feel. I say to myself, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't want to listen to this. It's a waste of my time. But I won't let myself say that. At least I haven't in a long time. And I think that's a good thing, ultimately. The last time I did it was maybe with Shakespeare. I mean, you go back, your high school English teacher tells you this is the guy. But you don't really get it. I mean, I didn't get it. It seemed long-winded, Shakespeare. A lot of complicated language to say things that you could say a lot more simply. Like, to be or not to be. Do I want to do myself in or don't I? Just say that. But then I was a freshman in college and I went to see Henry V. It was the Kenneth Branagh version. And it had just come out. I saw it at the theater, which will give you some idea of just how old I am. And I sat in the theater and I was mesmerized. It was like some switch had clicked in my ear and suddenly I heard it. And it all made sense. Like, I didn't have to look up the translation versions. It all made sense. And it was brilliant. Just the way my teachers had always said. And I realized I don't really know what I'm talking about, right? I don't know why I was, and I don't know that I really was wise, but something in me was wise enough to know at 18, 19, 20 that I really didn't know what I was talking about. But maybe all these teachers and critics and experts did. And so then that's the way it happened. And sometimes it happens relatively quickly. I'll listen a few times to an artist and the click will happen. Just a few listenings sometimes. Sometimes it takes a while. Like, for instance, with the Velvet Underground, I mean, it took me over a decade. And, I mean, that's embarrassing to admit, but I don't know, it was just so dissonant to somebody who was 25. And, I don't know what the hell they were supposed to be singing about. Shiny boots of leather and I'm waiting for my man and heroin. And I don't know anything about heroin. I wanted to like it because I knew I was supposed to. But, I mean, I definitely didn't. And I had to keep coming back to it over and over and over for 10 years before the click finally happened. I'm still sort of trying with the Smiths, right? And it's not like the Velvets. I actually like the Smith music, but I just don't get Morrissey's point of view. I mean, what's the song? He's driving in the car, wants to swerve into traffic, he chickens out. I'm like, really? I mean, it all seems so whiny and pretentious. But I keep working at it because I know people smarter than me say that the Smiths are important. And I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to try. I watched this VH1 special back in the late 90s. It was the 100 Greatest Artists of Rock and Roll. And they did a ton of those. 100 Greatest Women of Rock and Roll, 100 Best Albums, 100 Best Songs. I don't know. It got kind of pointless after a while. But that very first one was different because they'd sent out ballots to all the actual artists. Like something like 750 ballots went out. And so it wasn't just some TV executive's opinion. It was, it had the validity of actual artists. These are the people that actual rock and roll artists think are the most influential rock and roll artists. And right near the top, the Velvet Underground. And I thought, okay, I have to understand this band. And even if they seem awful to me, I've got to figure out a way into them. I've got to wait for that click to happen, because when experts say they're good, you have to trust that click is going to happen. Something is going to happen in your inner ear, and suddenly you'll get it. And I did. And look, I'll admit there's something to be said for knowing what you like and what you don't like. There's something to be said for being strong-willed and ignoring the experts and the critics and going your own way. But if I hadn't decided somewhere back there that I should trust people who knew better than me, I never would have figured out just how great the Velvets really are, or Shakespeare, or Dickens, Henry James. That was like a really tough one. Talking Heads, B-52s. Again, I'm kind of embarrassed about how long some of these took me. Sylvia Plath, Cormac McCarthy, the Sex Pistols. I could go on and on. All of my favorite artists are people that I didn't like when I first listened to them. So, if you're young, or even if you're old like me, listening to what others think is a good thing. And your job should be to try and figure out why it's good. I try to tell my daughter this when she says she doesn't like Miles Davis. And back when I was teaching, I tried to say it to my students when they said they didn't like The Scarlet Letter. And I guess that I've been doing it long enough that now maybe I do have enough authority to be the expert. But I still listen to the other people. I still listen to the experts, and I think that's a good thing. Anyway, what do you think? Leave me a comment.